Hey guys, welcome to some interesting video on Wild Rifts. Today we're back with a Leona commentary guide. So as mentioned in the patch 2.2b tier list, Leona is now all the way up to A tier. So now, as I also alluded to in that video, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about it in, of course, this commentary guide. So this commentary guide is also going to be a lot shorter than the other videos I've been posting, because I know that long, like 30+ minute videos is not for everybody. So I'm going to try to make a short video for you guys who like short videos. Also in this video, I'm starting to use a new mic, so let me know what you guys think of it. So first off, like I said, Leona is sort of, her tanky stats have not actually been increased at all. So basically she's now an all-in engage kind of support. So because of your E, your Zenith Blade, your point and click stun on your Q, as well as your ultimate, you can actually get off really long durations of CC on a single target. So now if you guys saw just now, actually I was actually typing to the Tristana and I'm saying we should all in at level 2. So before I discuss anything more about that, I'm picking to engage for the Tristana. Tristana, you know, she acknowledges that we're definitely gonna go in at level 2. That's why I want to point out, you normally want to go in at level 2 if your ADC can do so. So here I missed my E. Tristana gets off a bomb and a couple shots up. I flash in here to stun the Jinx so that Tristana can get a couple more shots. Exhaust her so she can escape. Tristana gets off the kill, and then I go in on the Lux, point and click stun the Lux, and we barely get out with our lives. So this is sort of Leona's new role now, in my opinion. She just goes in, locks them down, possibly dies or lives with a little bit of CC, and that's her entire role. So we'll get into that a little bit later, but as I said, Leona, for now, your E, you just use your E to gap close, root them for a bit, press your Q to point and click stun, and then use your ultimate to, you know, keep them in the area for even longer. And then after that, you either just die because you have taken too much damage and you're not tanky, or if not, you just basically run out with your, if possible. And of course, you use your W when you're engaging, of course, to reduce as much damage you take as possible. But yeah. So, you know, that's basically Leona's role. And after buffing her Moonlight pass, which actually does a decent amount of damage. Here I managed to engage on the Jinx, but we see Camille, who's Camille Jungle, by the way, coming in. So we want to, of course, back off. Our Jarvan is coming back, so I'm going to come in for the re-engage. Jinx completely out of position here. Jarvan gets the kill on her. She got a bit overconfident with her jungler around since it was a 3v2. So we got Jarvan to show up. I get off a really nice ultimate there, but unfortunately the Katarina shows up, so Jarvan can't really chase without dying himself. So now one tip for you guys is, if you have your ultimate up and you're running away, you want to sort of put it on where you are standing at the moment, because your enemy is going to be following the same path as you most of the time, and that will stop them from chasing you, so you can sort of run away. Here I'm just going to head over to the Katarina to provide support to my own Katarina. This is, of course, a normal match. This is not a ranked match. I'm just playing Leona to playtest her for my tier list video, and this was obviously done before my tier list video, but I'm only recording the video on it now because I wanted to rush out the tier list video because I felt that was the most important. Yeah. So Leona works really well with people like Tristana. Tristana has a very, very strong level 2 all-in. Here I get hit by the Lux binding, so I can't really do anything about the situation, but Leona works very well with AD carries who can go all-in. People like Tristana, of course, Jhin. So here I try to root the Katarina to save Tristana, but Katarina already got off her ignite. Tristana dies. So she works well with AD carries like Jhin, AD carries like Tristana, and basically Kai'Sa. She does not exactly work very well with weak early game AD carries like Jinx, for example, because you want to all in early game like this, what I'm doing here, and let your team get the advantage from the early game. Let your team snowball, like what I'm doing for my Tristana. As you guys can see, Tristana has three kills. She has 3 kills. She's 3 kills up on the enemy team. Lux obviously being overconfident there. Meanwhile, the enemy bot lane has only 1 kill, so we are basically, I have 2 kills. Tristana has 3 kills, so we're a total of 4 kills up on the enemy bot lane. So I would recommend not really picking Leona if your team has no real tank, because honestly, you guys will see in the stats later, Tristana really doesn't tank a whole lot at all. I'm sorry, Leona doesn't tank a whole lot at all. That's me. Leona doesn't tank a whole lot at all. She's more used for the engage. So here I'm gonna interrupt my back just in case Tristana gets ult in by Katarina, but you know, it goes out of my range. Walking around that wall would take way too long, so I'm just gonna back unless I want to flash the wall, which I do not want to do, even though my flash is up. So yeah, Leona is just mainly used for a CC in my opinion. So here we have a alright team. We have me and Jarvan, who are both like partial tanks. Jarvan goes bruiser, but he's pretty tanky. I'm not very tanky, but I'm building tank. So here I flash for the engage on here. I don't really I didn't realize Tristana was that low health, to be very honest. So here the enemy team does not help out their Lux in the slightest, which allows us to kill her, even though it was a basically a 1v3, because Tristana basically was one hit away from dying and she still came in. Jinx sorely underestimates my buffed Moonlight damage. This is what I'm referring to. The buffed Moonlight damage does so much damage. The Moonlight damage plus the Sunfire Aegis damage that I have managed to 1v1 the Jinx. Of course, Jinx is not the strongest early game champion, but that's pretty insane to me. So her damage now is even not too bad. So now I'm going to briefly actually discuss the build path for Leona. So Leona, you can go 3 build paths in my opinion. First way is just go the full-on tank build, which is what I'm doing. Go Sunfire Aegis and then tank items. Second build path is the Zeke's Convergence build. So you build Zeke's as the first item because your ultimate, you'll be in the enemy team, you'll be using your ultimate, and you can proc the Zeke's Convergence passive really easily. I don't really like Zeke's because I feel that Leona badly needs something like Sunfire Aegis to increase her tankiness. She needs that health and all, which is why I go for Sunfire Aegis first. And the third way is to go for Locket / Redemption as your first item, like some supports do. So there's 3 different ways to play Leona. Now personally, it's not about preference, it's more of what the situation calls for. So for here, my team is not really tanky, so I'm going to go tank build first, which is why I go for Sunfire Aegis first. But if my team, let's say, had a Malphite and a Amumu jungle, I would just go for like Redemption or Locket as my first item, and then after that go for the tank build. But for Zeke's, it's more about personal preference. For me, I don't really like Zeke's Convergence. I feel like it doesn't really do too much, especially on Leona. So I prefer just going straight on for the tank build. And now I went for Sunfire Aegis first and then the Locket. Now I'm going for a Bramble Vest just to counter any healing the enemy might have. We see that Katarina already has her Gunblade, which gives her healing. Here, Jinx just gets caught basically. There, if you guys notice, when my team was taking the Herald, instead of helping them with the Herald, I don't really do damage to the Herald. I'm just basically face checking the bushes around the Herald and just staying there so no one can come close. And when Jinx oversteps a bit, I go all in on her. I'm not really gonna help my team push here. I'm instead gonna just help the Teemo out here. I don't really end up doing anything, but we get off the Herald, we get mid lane tier 1, we get mid lane tier 2, and Herald is still healthy. We're gonna get a charge off on mid lane tier 3. So Jinx again completely out of position. The Jinx probably doesn't know what she's doing. She's always out of position. We get her as well, and we're actually gonna get the inhib, probably the most highest value Herald. I'm pinging my team to retreat because we can't really get anything more. Katarina has the same idea, which is really good. We're gonna back off here. So the enemy team has a lot of healing, which is why I went Bramble Vest first. So of course Katarina has the Gunblade completed. Jinx was actually going for a Blade of the Rune King because she had the Recurve Bow and the Vamp Scepter, but she somehow decides to go and build the Cloak instead. I have no idea what she's thinking. And of course Camille's W has innate healing, Darius Q has innate healing, so we want to just get rid of all that healing with the Bramble Vest. So now I'm actually going to go Magic Defense. Here I believe that Lux knew that she was gonna die, but she was willing to trade the life for her tower for the tower, which I do believe is the right call there. She already couldn't get out, so instead of running, she at least salvages the kill on the tower. Here I realized for the first time that Leona E does not actually hit Skull Crab. I know it doesn't hit minions because you can E through minions to engage, but I thought it would hit Skull Crab, but no, it doesn't. Just something to take note. Here we easily pick up the dragon with no contest. Of course, now our team is fairly ahead. We're like 10k gold plus ahead. Here I'm trying to engage on the Jinx, but she explodes so fast from Katarina and Tristana's damage that the time that my E took to travel to her, she just died already. She died in like half a second, instant bursted. Here I'm gonna back up the Teemo on the Darius, giving him the stun, letting my team pick up the kill. And here what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to push my team to get this tower, but instead what is happening is Katarina is trying to clear the minions instead of trying to attack the tower, which leaves me someone who really doesn't have a lot of damage to just hit the tower. Tristana finally comes over to try to hit the tower, but our minions have all died, so I'm tanking tower. I'm gonna have to flash out here just so I don't die. Here I'm trying to actually hit both of them with my ultimate. Instead I hit it in the middle of them and give them both a slow, but still allows us to pick up the kill on the Lux. No idea how Tristana didn't get the kill and I got the kill instead. Here I go in a little bit too deep, so I'm going to get out and with the locket as well. But as you guys can see, throughout this entire match, I'm still taking a ton of damage despite having already completed the Sunfire Aegis, half of a AD item, and now a complete AP item. And locket, which with defensive boots, but you guys can see that we are still taking a ton of damage. So basically now Leona's role is simply to engage with the team. She really isn't that tanky, and off the back of that, the enemy team surrenders. Now this is probably my most packed commentary guide because every single part I'm just spamming the info on Leona and having to weave in the gameplay discussion in between. But now the game is over, so obviously it was more or less a stomp from us, but we're gonna actually just take a look at what was happening here, take a look at the builds, take a look at the stats. Okay, so as you guys can see, we somehow got the MVP. I say somehow because it's not common that any support gets MVP. We did KS like 1 or 2 kills, to be fair, but we did try our best to give away the kills, like especially in the early game to the Tristana. We're trying to feed the Tristana, trying to snowball her. But we're going to take a quick look at everybody over here. So as you guys can see, we went for the Sunfire Aegis into the Locket and then into the Bramble Vest and Force of Nature. Now Force of Nature, obviously, because on your team at the point in time, Katarina was doing the best on the team, Lux was doing second best, so Force of Nature makes sense. Then we're of course going for an armor item. We built another cloth armor. And we're going to take a look at everybody else. Katarina did fine. She has the correct build. Gunblade into Oblivion Orb. Teemo has an alright build. Not the best. I recommend, as I normally say, Liandry's into Nashor's, but he went Nashor's into Lichbane. Not the worst. And then going for a Death Cap. It's alright. He did do the most damage. We'll take a look at it later. Jarvan goes Starrick's Gauge into GA. Starrick's Gauge is kind of a weird first item. Normally you would go for Black Cleaver or Triforce, but I guess it works. These are still Jarvan's correct items, but not necessarily in the correct order. Tristana goes for a weird build. She goes for Bork and Runan's Hurricane, but I think probably the best build for Tristana is IE and then into like full crit, like Static Shift, Phantom Dancer, Rapid Fire Cannon, and the works. Basically among those items, like just going full crit, sort of like Xayah. And on the enemy team, Camille's build is fine. Jinx can't make up her mind what she wants to build, so she just have partial items. She doesn't have a full item despite having 5k gold. She doesn't even have boots, for that matter. Katarina is fine. Darius was AFK, but he is going the right way. Actually, he is not. He has gone for Triforce, but it looks like he's going to build into... Okay, that could be actually a Black Cleaver. If he's going for Black Cleaver, that is not good, but that may also be a... No, it's not. Death's Dance is a Vamp Scepter with a Kindle Gem. He's going for a Black Cleaver. That's not good. Lux is alright. Ludens and Soul Stealer is fine. So yeah, with that, let's just look at the stats instead. Alright, so quickly now, the stats. Tristana and Teemo obviously did the most damage. And something I like to point out is that somehow I did more damage than Jarvan. Like, barely, I know, but I would expect Jarvan to have done more damage than me. And also like to point out the tankiness. As you guys can see, I tanked similar amounts to Katarina and Jarvan, which does really show you that Leona is not tanky, which just substantiates my point. Obviously, the entire enemy team is going to be taking a lot more damage because we're essentially destroying them, so the entire enemy team is taking a ton of damage. But comparing with my team, I'm taking really little damage, which shouldn't be the case, I know. I'm trying my best to tank, but... And I'm just... You guys can see, I'm engaging into the entire enemy team, but... Leona just really doesn't tank a lot of damage. You tank a little bit, you gotta get out. If not, you're just gonna die. So, yeah. But we did get the highest KP, though, so that's really good. We are involved in 17 of 27, which is pretty good, pretty alright. At least better than the rest of our team. But with that out of the way, that's it for the Leona commentary guide. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and goodbye.